Hey, we love that umbrella guy. All right. Thank you.
I'm calling from Los Angeles, and I'm having a little problem under the name ThATuMBRELLAgUY. I sent him my phone number at least 20 times in the chat and told him to call me. He ignored me, or I'm a man. I filed the report. If you guys could take a look at it and give me a call back, I would love to hear what you guys can do to help us. We really need to kind of stop this guy at least until Monday. I told him to call me, or I'm a man.
You know what? I talked to your mayor.
Chase dreams, I'll chase money. It's so funny, nothing you can take from me. I chase dreams, I'll chase money. I go dummy, everybody hate to love me. Why? I chase dreams, I'll chase money. It's so funny, nothing you can take from me. One deep, like sweet, like honey. I go dummy, everybody hate to love me.
Deceive, hiding from the lawsuits, a new trick up your sleeve. Paperwork, flimsy truth, taking a dive. Drowning paperwork, then buried alive. Fraudulent baller, playing the game. Dodging the heat while fueling the flame. Thinking you slick? Now we see through the scheme. Bankruptcy, fraud, that's stealing the dream. Stacks of life folded, origami finesse. You're bleeding broke, but your dollar screams success. Got the 56K, the attention, the barn go sweet. But in court you crying, I can't make ends meet. Heavy face abuse, gavel about to drop. Your lies are crumbling, your case is a flop. Fake tears streaming, crocodile flow. But the fraud you pulling, everybody knows. Fraudulent dollar, playing the game. Dodging the heat while fueling the flame. Thinking you slick? Nah, we see through the scheme. Bankruptcy, fraud, that's stealing the dream. Money trail messy, footprints in the sand. Everybody watching, receipts in their hands. Lawyers on your neck, think you know what a scheme. But your team discussed it all on their live stream.
Now you posting balloons about selling your jewelry? Your jewelry in Diddy Creek. Are you kidding me? 3 cellular providers now produced in Discovery. Are any of those brain cells on?
You lied to the court and left your donors misled, saying 6K was for fighting when you had already fled. Winning the case, this is only delays. A courtroom race and you running relays.
Stop selling jewelry. Stop taking out loans. Seriously, stop.
Seriously, stop. What's up, folks? How's it going today? Welcome to a weekend edition of Everything is Crazy. Oh my goodness, man. We have so much freaking stupid to go over. I really do wonder if they're going to get their bankruptcy filing kicked. You know, we yet again have a judge being like, "Yo, that's not descriptive enough." And we have Lynette Preston posting. By the way, I want to bring up something today too that oh man, I don't even know how to put this stuff in. Sometimes it boggles my mind to go through some of this stuff. So today I want to go through what deleting evidence is. That is a crime, by the way. You know, DUI guy did a great video on that. I think we'll go over that. And I also want to bring up something that was a lot of fun too. There's been a little bit of dispute over raising money in other people's names, like what you have to do with that. So I thought, talking about, first of all, let's say, can you raise money in another person's name? Absolutely, you can, right? You can do that. You need their permission first. And I assume the way everything's set up that they 100% had Lynette Preston's permission, you know, when they went in and they tried to raise money. But beyond that, there's the question of, can you withhold money? You know, that's been a lingering question lately, especially so both sides of a particular question now are quoting the number $18,000. They have said that there's $18,000 remaining. Now, I want you to think about that first of all, okay? With everything supposedly done and the amount of money. They keep saying fees, by the way, too. All right. PayPal, if you sent friends and family, PayPal wouldn't take any fees. But let's assume they did. PayPal takes a 2.9% financing fee. You know, if it's sent not as a donation, but if it's sent as a fee, as something, as rather a purchase, you know, you get a 2.9% financing fee. So worst case scenario, let's say all the money that came in, let's say we got hit with $5,000 off of it. That's a big chunk, right? Big fat chunk of it, right? You'd still, with all the people out there, I mean, you are not talking about less than, God, I'd say $70,000, you know, least minimum. I mean, I'm sure there's a lot more, but that also doesn't count. It doesn't count toys. It doesn't count people giving Amazon cards or Lowe's cards. There's all types of stuff that was thrown in. Now, what has been accomplished? You have a fence, right? One piece of fence, by the way, I think you need to be very clear about this. When you talk about a privacy fence, most people imagine 4 sides of a privacy fence, but no, we're talking about one row privacy fence that faces the road, which is the dumbest idea ever, because when you're driving down the road, you can still see it from sides. Give me one second, I can clear my throat. Okay, sorry about that. I try not to clear my throat into the microphone, you know. Some people have a problem with doing that. I can't say it never happens, but I try to mute out, you know. Again, if I cough quickly or something, I can't guarantee that it won't be like, excuse me, you know, but besides stuff that, by the way, something weird happened yesterday. So there was an LMNOP sighting on a couple of channels, and LMNOP kept trying to say, hey, how's it going to folks in the chat? And people wouldn't respond. There was a very little nicety being showcased to LMNOP. It was bizarre to watch. You know, I got all the screenshots from it. I'll actually show you. She would pop up, and she popped up a few times, and it's like the ecosystem folks are ignoring her, which is very interesting strategy going forward. Let's pretend she doesn't exist. We'll never have to turn over any money, I guess. I don't know. But I mean, you can see her like where she's shouting out like, hey, you know, hello, and blah, blah, blah. And people are responding to her. I looked through the whole freaking thing with somebody screenshot it all. And we're talking about very few people, period, say anything toward her. But on top of that, I mean, you have her ghosted out. It's so bizarre. So with money, I mean, you think about what was brought up. So we've got fins, like I said, okay? We have some pile of wood. We have a toilet. We have what I guess is an island. Not to be confused with a fantastical tropical island for a cruise, but an interior island. And we had a Christmas thing. Now, the Christmas thing is kind of interesting because even people that have been donators, people that were in the chats back when, there's some of them that have been commenting on this stuff, and they don't seem happy about it either. Let me see. There was a couple of comments that were left on Facebook. It's talking about the money, where it's gone, who exactly donated, you know. And so there was a person, I don't know if they want spotlighting or not, so I'll be nice about this because they note that they were a person as a supporter. They said, so there was a post stating that 2L1 states that the money was given to her to do the fence and HG Christmas. The rest of the money she has decided to use on other people that need help. Did her donors realize that all that leftover money was being dispersed somewhere else? What's going on? And one of the people was involved in donating money noted that she's lying. Proof is in videos. We as supporters sent hundreds of presents. Hell, people even chipped in for food for the party too, you know. And they were asked, well, do you have details to support? Not doubting you, but you know, if you have that, it would help prove grifting. And they note, I do. I sent a present from Amazon. Huh. So the people that supported, they feel, I think they feel a little bit on the giving the middle finger approach. Even some of them are starting to speak out. So the other question in there, too, is can you withhold money? If it is donated in another person's name, can you legally withhold money from them? Because again, they utilized her name for fundraising. They note and they admit that there were donations giving in their name. So does that count? Andy, whoop, I got to write it real quick. What's up, kiddo?
What's up? I can't find, you know, that I look outside and see if it's still get outside like who sits on the sink, you know?
Yeah.
I didn't see it there. I didn't know.
Should be back.
Where's it going? Can I have a hug?
Yes, give me a hug, please. Give me the big hugs. Give me big hugs. Okay. Yeah.
I want 10 hugs.
You got it, huh?
I want 10 hugs.
No 10 hugs right now.
What about 10 kisses? What about 10 kisses?
No 10 kisses. Just one kiss. One kiss. There you go. All right. You gotta go upstairs.
I love you.
Love you too.
I've been watching my TV.
You have? You have?
Yeah, but I was watching Sissy's TV while Hall wasn't watching our TV, so I was watching hers while Hall was talking with Mom and you and watching movies.
Okay. Well, you have fun. You be a big girl, okay? You can watch the big one if you want to right now. Okay?
Mom's TV?
You can watch the big one, yeah. Yep. It's funny. I was trying to watch her there. I was a little quiet on that. I was trying to watch her. She was walking backwards. I was like, don't walk backwards on that thing. So making sure she didn't fall over something. Okay, so the question here, let me get back to this, is the idea that can you raise again money in another person's name, then withhold funding from them? And the answer is absolutely not. You know why? Because of legality in that. If you raise money in their name. And then you would withhold funds. Not only is that not what you promised, which is its own problem, but that could be considered fraud and or theft. You could actually be sued for that. Now, wouldn't that be something? Wouldn't it be something to actually see this boil down as the funding dwindles and they notice the bottom of the pond coming up really fast? Wouldn't it be something? I think that would be amazing. Man, it kills me though. I mean, I was reading through this because that would be considered, it's misrepresentation. And misrepresentation goes right with fraud. Here, let's pull this up. Raising money in someone else's name usually implies that the funds are for them, for a cause that is associated with them. If you then keep the money, even if saying that you are deciding on the best interest of the person, you're misrepresenting the purpose of fundraising and are potentially deceiving donors. Now, along with that, that could be considered theft. If you collect money that was intended for another individual or purpose, and then you withhold or divert it. Notice those two things. It's not just that you divert it. You say, I know what's best for you, but you withhold it. If that person says, hey, this money, I want that money. Like for example, she was begging for private donations, individual loans the other day for the sum of $5,000, right? If she would have wanted that $5,000, again, the reason I bring this up is because I heard a clip where it was stated very clearly that it doesn't matter what she wants. That 2L, that money was given to them and they get to dictate and decide how that's spent. That is not how that works. If she decided to sue her, she very well could wreck her. And that money is dwindling. If we were talking about only having $18K left, really? And you know, Lynette, again, she made it clear, I did not catch that both parties had actually said that. But after it was brought up, you know, with Lynette's, with her post, again, I was like, is that saying there's only 18? Yeah, it's been said twice. Because she's saying, remember her lack of punctuation in here. Again, from what I've been told, there's approximately $18,000. See, that is what that says. That is actually what that is supposed to say. So they're saying out of all that money that was given, there's approximately $18,000 left. That's, again, their narrative. I've not seen any proof that there is $1 left. But even if we go by that, that's why when she's saying, you know, well, for final plumbing, we need $6,000. For spray foam, we need $15,000. For electrical, we're going to need more. We need $2,500 for engineering. Actually, permits are going to be their own problem too, even though she says they're free. We need all this other stuff. Yeah. The endless coin jar. You know what's really fascinating about that too? If you total up all this money right here that's asked for, you know what you find out? The $50,000+ would have covered it. That's the other really interesting thing to me. $50,000 would have covered it. Because you have, again, 18, 15, there's 33, you got 39, you tack on 41, whatever, then tack on the extras that they're talking about. $56,000 would have covered it. For sure. There's no doubt about it. And they 100% picked up money. With that defense, I mean, they took private donation on that. They took freaking money for lumber gift cards. I mean, they 100% guarantee you they made more money than that number. That number, again, it was from one donor. All these other donors, that excludes them. You can't tell me. One lady by herself said I spent $3,000 on these people. So you can't tell me all those folks. And, I mean, including the bankruptcy thing and all of that too. My God, man. they could have finished the projects that they promised. Isn't that wild? I really hope the donor has noticed that. I swear. Oh my God. But I thought that was an interesting talking point too. Now LP is back on the posting train again. Those are always fun to look out for. So we have a new one of those. It's it's already losing pieces to it, by the way, but she's over on Facebook posting again, telling us, well, check this out. This is good times here too. Do not judge before you have heard both sides of the story. When you listen to only onside kick, baby, onside of a story, and then judge somebody on that one-sided story, you have indeed harmed the person on the other side. Now, here's the thing. You've been in a court of law, and you had the ability to turn over discovery. Now, discovery, you have to understand discovery. Discovery isn't just turn over what I want. It's turn over anything you're going to utilize in the case as well. So, if there are multiple sides of a story, that is where you will see it, and we would see it in documentation. We wouldn't see a narrative, an ever-changing narrative. We would actually see some kind of proof to go along with that. Standing in the truth. I know it blows my mind. People are commenting on that. It's standing on the truth, Lynette. Standing in the truth. Sounds like you're wading through, a little bit of the doggy dropping. Yuck. Standing on the truth, like I'm standing on a rock. Oh my God. Oh my God. I mean, there's a few things out there. I understand messing up, but standing in the truth doesn't sound right. It sounds like you're standing in your own BS. That's absolutely what it sounds like. So it's probably not the best there. But you should not judge someone on the sole word of anyone. There are two sides to every story. And there could be truth on either side or no side, but it's up to you to listen and seek the truthful side. You should never accept. Now, you're going to, or rather, accuse. Now, you're going to like, there's a piece to this add-on that's really good. Never accuse someone of anything without solid proof and hearing both sides. That's rich, considering who this comes from, by the way. Well, now, there's a certain part of this that no longer exists. But was there as well. Someone asked a question, and I thought this question was pretty good. People had been asking her repeatedly, in fact, about 2Ls. They'd been asking about, hey, what we see, we only see it from this one place there. If you're going to present things, why don't you present them yourself? You have Kathy here saying, hey, you personally never told us your side with proof and recordings. That's very true. The key word there is proof. We've heard a lot of crazy nonsense, but the proof part is missing. But with proof and recordings, text messages and such, we only have what 2L1 says for you, and they only give out hate messages and bring on other people to do the same. Never have you told your side. But now it's probably too late. But you should speak for yourself. Now, she decides that she's going to talk about this, and she's going to answer that. And she says, I haven't been able to speak for myself because when someone is stalking you, indeed. I'm just going to recruit an army of people to do my dirty work, but I'm being stalked. When someone is stalking you, the best thing you can do is make sure that you cannot speak about them because then you cannot defend yourself. So think about that message right there. I have been silenced, so I couldn't fight back. That's about to change. Oh, somebody's going to find their voice. It sounds like they're going to start being loud in it. Good times, fun times, you know. Fun times indeed. She keeps saying that she's going to post videos and she's going to do this and that. Put up or shut up, Lynette. That's what I'm going to say. Put up or shut up. I mean, you keep saying that you're going to prove that wrong. What you're going to do, Lynette, is this. You're going to file bankruptcy. These people here, they got your money. They decide how it's dispersed. You have no say over it whatsoever. That's what they said. It's going to come down to it. It's dwindled quite a bit. They're going to continue bilking people in your name, but they're not going to give you any money anymore because people are saying, don't give her any money anymore. So the story, it's no longer about you anymore. It's about them. They are now the victim in their own tale. They will talk about you and the kid when it's convenient. They'll say, I got into this because, mark my words, this will be the way it goes. I did this. I stood up for what was right. But then I became the victim. That's how it'll be. You watch. You watch. It already. If you listen to him, you would not know that Lynette Preston is any part of everything. In fact, like I said, it's really interesting to see her being ghosted by these folks when they get a chance. They try to ignore her because I don't think they like dealing with her. I don't really blame them, just to be honest. But again, it is your money, Lynette. No matter what they tell you, it is your money. They cannot announce to the public that is not your money. It doesn't matter if I like or dislike someone. That is the truth of the situation. Also, they risk the chance of all your money getting ghosted anyway because they're playing a game of hide and seek with it while discussing it openly that they raised it. You all put a number to it. But you did worse than that. You proved that it existed. You legitimized its existence. You yourself spoke about it. So when you did that, that allows people, especially, what are they called again? Creditors. That's right. Creditors to ask questions. That's something you don't want. You also have in the bankruptcy hearing, this is kind of getting a little fascinating to behold. Give me 1 second here. You have yet another demand with Preston about show cause for the case potentially being dismissed. I mean, this is wild to me because we're here yet again, and the way this stuff keeps coming up, you would think that we were dealing with a pro se litigant, somebody representing themselves in the court. You wouldn't think that this person actually has a lawyer. So here, this is, give me 1 second, by the way. I believe this is item 22. Give me 1 minute. I got to check it again. No, 23, my bad. I'm glad I looked. So this is item 23. If you are keeping score, by the way, on where the documents are at this time. When we looked last time, we went up to document 19. I will say that we skipped a couple of things in the beginning. As I went back, there are a few things that we should circle back to and talk about, but we have plenty of time for that. Or maybe we won't. Who knows? If they end up flopping this thing and they don't do what they're being asked to do, we may have a really short stint in the bankruptcy courts. But what they did, no matter what, they really screwed up in the bankruptcy courts because, again, she's admitted a few things that she shouldn't have. This plan was very bad for their, to discharge something, you have to talk about it. And she talked about 3 cellular providers, which again, they didn't turn over. She did not list all types of items. And those items, when they were discussed, she actually started talking about them and talking about selling them and more. She also talked about $18,000, even though she is claiming indigency. She's been claiming that in other courts. So that is a problem. If you have $18,000 on hand, That also, if you have $18,000 on hand, I do not like talking about people's benefits. You know, when I say this, I do not want people to lose benefits. I do not like that discussion because ultimately, unfortunately, we're at this situation with this person that there is a kid involved, that nothing will happen with that kid. The states are not going to do anything or anything else. Don't call anybody, by the way. That is your PSA. Do not call anyone associated. Do not contact anyone. That is not what I'm telling you at all. But no one will do anything. So taking away any money, that's not going to make anything better. But are they... are they lying about stuff? Yes. Should they have it pointed out in a court of law? Yes, indeed. Should law enforcement have done something? Yes, for sure. Hey, and she is giving away the ghost there. In the Chapter 7 petition, though, if you look at this, they're having the same problem that they had before. So on July 3rd, you notice this. It'll be on July 3rd. How many days are we in now? Well, it's almost 9 days ago. The debtors filed a voluntary Chapter 7 petition. To date, debtors have failed to file a list of creditors containing names and addresses of each entity. Now, you notice that. That's a big deal, too. She went in and she listed all of this random malarkey, right? But she didn't list the names and addresses for each entity. Now, why is that important? Well, because your creditors actually have a chance to respond to this. You can't just say, by the way, these people over here, yeah, I'm going to have a potential lawsuit against them later on. And by the way, they should never be talked to. That's not how it works. If you list them as you owing or potentially owing money, they get to speak about it. So you have to provide, of course, their names, their addresses, and also you can't just randomly discharge things. This is the other problem that their so-called plan has when you think about it. When you talk about name and address and all of that, why are we getting into the specifics here? Well, because it has to be locked down to a specific person, a specific company, whatever, right? With a specific locale for a specific amount of money. Now, you run into this little problem when you're trying to discharge lawsuits that have not even been decided. Sometimes not even been filed. That is insanity. Absolute freaking insanity. Could Lloyd be considered a creditor as well? I don't know what happened with the refrigerator. I'm missing information about what happened there. There was a dispute over that appliance, right? And that actually wouldn't go through a bankruptcy. But if there was some kind of deal that was worked or hashed out with that, then potentially. So if something would have come of that later on, maybe. But as far as I know, everything else was wrapped up. There was no money involved. But that applies. The only way I could see that happening is, yeah, you've kept that, but you owe money or something, right? And I have no idea how that turned out. Or even if Lloyd was like, yo, I'm done with that, you know? Yeah, see, she doesn't owe him capital. So I don't really see any reason, like at this moment with what I know, that he could be part of that in any way. Nor do I really think he would want to be, just to be honest about it. You know, I think a lot of people, they look at this as a really bad chapter in their lives and they want to turn the page. I don't blame them either. You know, I wouldn't want to have to dwell on that page there either. But so they note that each entity included or to be included on each schedule there as prescribed by the official forms. For that reason, ordered debtor shall file the required list of creditors no later than 14 days from the date of this order. So they have until the 21st to get their shit in action. Again, they are paying $6,000 $100,000 from what they stated. If they are paying that amount of money to somebody, you would think it shouldn't look like you or I filed it, right? I mean, to me, that's a problem. If I go in and I look at something, it looks like you or I filed it, and I paid an extensive amount of money, that would really be an issue. That would really, really be an issue. Nothing but bad grifters. Yeah, I mean, well, the thing is, again, what really united them, there were two things that united them, really. They all, for some reason or another, they either hate Jeremy Hales, or hating Jeremy Hales was beneficial. I'm going to say it that way. Either because of some petty internal thing, or because of some external enrichment, making money. The problem is that it's not as enriching anymore. They don't see as much return on investment as you will. Nowadays, it's kind of like that stuff has slowed down exponentially. For them too, with live streams, they may make a few dollars off of monetization of live stream, but it's not big money. A few thousand hits is not really gonna give you this super payday. So when you're spending 3, 4, 5 hours, they're talking now, of course, that they need a lawyer. They also are telling people that I don't even have a vehicle. How am I doing this? So I wonder if we're going to get a vehicle grift. Well, definitely. I can't talk smack about a lawyer, although I do think it's funny that people that said they don't need lawyers. They said that this was remember, this was just a basic open and shut fed to, it was no big deal, right? And they had been mistaken for lawyers. They could represent themselves. Now they're saying that it's a complex case. It's too complex to handle like that. I guess it's too complex to get advice. Either that, or I wonder, like I said, I wonder sometimes, is BBB getting tired of messing with these folks? You see him pop up here and there, right? But not like he used to. He's there. I mean, he has his own personal grievances, let's say. There's certain people he does not like, but he probably has his own thing going on. But I kind of expected in the background for BBB to be helping out. BBB to be helping out. That's a lot of B's. But now, instead, they're talking about picking up their own lawyer, securing representation. So what happened? I thought they had everybody they needed on that side. Again, some of them were mistaken for lawyers. They had their own reps. So what's going on there? They also burned the bridge again. The only me, they keep saying that only me is Jeremy Hales. Now, I'm going to say it this way. If only me is Jeremy Hales, that has to be the greatest long gameplay I've ever seen. It would be amazing. Would it not? Yeah. Oh my God. Oh. I mean, for real, that's been one of their go-tos. They were saying that they're blocking him. They are calling for him to be blocked now in chats, which is amazing to me. I noticed too, none of his little buddies, none of his pals have spoken up about that either. It's all good. It's all gravy, baby. It's just chat drama, right? Most of these mofos, they'd be lucky to see $50,000 in a year. But it's just chat drama when someone else has it drained out of them, right? Again, I'm not talking about chats either. If people in the chats, they have a problem, well, they have a problem with them there. But I'm talking about the people that accepted his money, and wanted him to pay. Apparently now they are calling for blocking. They are okay with that. And again, it's not his pals that stand up and they're like, this is jacked up. Yet again. Oh, by the way, let me show you something I forgot about to do yesterday. And then we'll look at this thing I wanted to show you. Okay. there's one other thing I want to show you too. So this document was posted. I'm actually showing this off of the Paint Chips Fun Times. So, as it said, special update. Paint Chips lawsuit is going against the Dinesh guys, going extremely well for Dinesh. I wonder what's going on with that. Let's read this. So the order here. This cause comes before the court upon pro se plaintiff Paint Chip's objections to magistrate judge's order, document 12. When a party objects to a magistrate judge's ruling on a non-dispositive motion, the district court must, quote unquote, modify or set aside the order only if it is, quote unquote, clearly erroneous or is contrary to law, as noted in Federal Rule of Civil Procedure 72A. Now, after review, the court denies plaintiff's objection. So, I wonder what happened. So, on May 16th, 2025, the defendant, that would be Dinesh, that Dinesh guy, moved for a 30-day extension time to respond to plaintiff's complaint to allow defendant time to find legal counsel. Now, the original deadline to respond was May 16th, 2025. The magistrate judge granted an extension May 19th, 2025. May 17th, 2025, plaintiff responded in opposition to the motion for extension of time, but it was not docketed until May 20th, 2025. And it notes here, plaintiff contends that some filings submitted to the court do not appear in the case docket. That would be Doc 12. At 3. Now, after careful review, all items have been either docketed or stricken by the clerk of court. Plaintiff's disclosure statement was docketed and stricken by the court's order, document 20, for using an incorrect form. You know, incorrect forms and incorrect formats, by the way, they should be something that we're seeing in this certain case we've been watching. All of those. I'm not talking about the pro se people either. It is beyond frustrating to know if you've ever worked within certain guidelines in whatever field. They have a certain structure that you're supposed to present things in. You know, whether that's psychology, psychological research, you know, you present in a specific format. You have data in other form, and so on. You know, just depending on where you're at, you have a certain law format, more. If you go outside that, it's supposed to be a problem. And yet, we notice, like, again, that's another problem I have with Fed 1, especially. We've seen time and again formatting problems, issues that you may think, well, those are minor nip. No, man. The rules either matter or they don't. The entire thing is a matter of law. And you have somebody sitting there that is let's just say a decipherer of law. They're supposed to play by it, even if it's some nitpicky bullshit. And so many other courts do. They're like incorrect formats, incorrect forms, blah, blah, blah. But these people are so weird. So anyway. Plaintiff's notice of non-consent to magistrate's jurisdiction is docketed. See Doc 8, as is a response in opposition to defendant's motion for extension of time. Docket 9, his motion for clerk's entry to default. Docket 10. Now plaintiff makes several objections to the granting of an extension of time to respond. First, plaintiff argues that the order granting the extension is void because magistrate judges cannot rule on dispositive or case controlling orders without party consent. However, quote, a motion to extend time is a non-dispositive pretrial motion that a magistrate judge may decide. Again, you can see the decision there. And it says, quote, allowing magistrate judges to rule on non-dispositive pretrial matters. Thus, magistrate judge has the authority to grant defendants extension of time. Next, plaintiff argues that the magistrate judge did not consider his opposition to the motion of extension of time. The magistrate judge had no such obligation. Indeed, quote, when an act may or must be done within a specified, I just laughed, that made me laugh. It's like, whoopsie, sorry about your luck, don't have to do that. May be done within a specified time. The court may, for good cause, extend that time with or without motion. It's noted federal rule of civil procedure. I'll get it right in a minute. And also blah, 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 noting that again, you can grant extensions to file. Lastly, plaintiff argues the defendant's motion for extension of time is a legal nullity because defendant did not comply with the Middle District of Florida's local rule 3.01G certification requirement of duty to confer in good faith with opposing party before filing. However, the argument overlooks that a judge can temporarily modify or suspend the application of any rule. Accordingly, all your garbage is denied. This judge, you see, here's the thing. I'm shocked that the judge in Fed 1 didn't get sick of Bruce and didn't put him in his place. Paint chips, I'm sure will, like that, the stuff that's gone on in all of that case, holy God, man. That stuff is nuts. So a judge will get very fed up very fast, you know? I mean, it is so bizarre. Now let's look at I want to watch a video. We haven't gotten to invite something from DUI guy around either in a bit. Now this has been up for a hot minute, but it is definitely worth considering. And it goes to the fact of the matter that I wanted to discuss today. That is about evidence, the deleting of evidence, a $542,000 fine for deleting of evidence, lawyer career destroyed. Now, again, that's the kind of stuff. You have people that are out there that are bragging about how they don't preserve information. They are in the moment destroying information. They destroy proof. They will post things. It will talk about Jeremy Hales. Then they will destroy it. They have pulled down several things, even after being told that they need to hold on to it. You know, there is a lot of proof there. That was their whole plan of how to deal with discovery. Set it on fire, throw it in the wastebasket, and pretend it never existed, right? It's in the digital trash, therefore. Only it doesn't work that way. Now, this is, it's not terribly long, but it's good. And again, you know, Larry, I like his new setup, by the way. You know, I like the fact that he's got his buckle up. I skipped over his intro there. He's a good intro too. If you've not checked out Larry in a while, I as I've said, I typically don't go in and look at something right off the bat. I want to give it time to do its thing, but we need to give love to Larry, you know. Also tomorrow, let me note this too. Shara has a video coming up, a new one. I noticed that is about to pop off as well. So that might be really interesting. Again, I need to get over there. I have all next week. We'll either hit it tomorrow or we'll hit it next at the beginning of next week. I'll be on my own next week. So I may bring on, I'm thinking about bringing on the per se lawyer. What do you guys think about that? What do you think about J-Hip has never been on the channel. Jay popping in for a hot minute. That might be funny. And the gang. I'll extend the invitation to all of them. I think that might be funny. You know, you could have all of them there. I think that might really be funny though. I can get my per se lawyer in there. I can get the people that are smart enough to tell the per se lawyer when he's wrong. So I think that might be fun to line up. But anyway, let's check this out together. All right. And again, DUI guy, you should go and check him out. Good people there. But he's somebody that, in this case, they came after. You know what's really crazy about him, too? they came after him regardless of whether or not he was still covering. He had gone on, he was looking at Karen Reed. You know, DUI guy is one of those people that there are different types of YouTubers out there. Like some people catch everything. They're like a catch-all. You know, they do a surface level investigation. You have some people that can do, like they do a few things. They're interested in them. They're like, oh, I like that. And they do a lot of digging into it. That's kind of a DUI guy. You know, he's interested in multiple things. He's not a catch-all, but he can balance quite a few proverbial balls in the air, you know? And then you have people like myself, you know, 1 to 3 topics is usually what I can manage because I get buried and bogged down in minutia, you know? But I love there are different people that come together on this kind of stuff. But Larry, he was covering something totally different when Bruce still decided he wanted to sue him. And from the screenshots that Shara provided, it didn't matter what he did. And in fact, I've said this before, but I want to hammer this real quick before we start on this. And the thumbnail litigation, when they brought it, they planned on bringing thumbnail litigation regardless. There was a question asked, and I'm paraphrasing, if he did take things and change and modify them, they couldn't sue then? It wouldn't matter. It didn't matter. They were going to move on anyway. And in that, here's the funniest thing to me. In all of that, they thought that they had a weak person in the fold they were going to target. Their weak person in their minds, I'm not saying they are weak. I'm saying in their minds, it turned out to be the opposite. In fact, they thought DJ Radis. Their plan, if you read it, they thought when they got into the court, they would force DJ Radis into some type of early out. And then when he took that early out, it would look like some kind of malfeasance or wrongdoing on the rest of them. They'd be able to weaponize it. Only problem was DJ Radis wasn't the guy to F with. He was the wrong dude. He liked the game. He had so much fun in it. I was actually very proud of DJ Radis and the way he handled it because he pissed them off so badly. I mean, he was right there. He was like, hey, I'm here. I'm actually not a Greg. What's up? Why don't you serve me? I'm wearing the Where's Waldo outfit. Can't you find me? You have to admit that was pretty funny. They did not like that. I mean, they brag all the time when Chubbs, when he runs away from being served, and these other folks do. But when DJ Radis made him look like a fool, and DUI guy also made him look like fools, and I don't think Bruce really liked that at all. DUI guy, they thought they were going to get DUI guy to do some kind of settlement. And it was funny. DUI guy ended up finding out more about it. He talked about this actually in an interview with us, but he ended up finding out more about what was going on. And I think they intended, you know, like the connection with Bruce. Bruce led a conversation about what would be happening in the thumbnail lawsuit, not Stark. Stark wasn't there at all. He was supposed to be her lawyer, but he wasn't present for the discussion. And then DUI guy, no, he didn't take anything. He ended up listening to what's what. He ended up being like, nah. They thought he was going to take something. They ended up looking like damn fools. And I mean, Bruce, oh, he's not happy about that. But that's another can they've decided to kick down the road too, yet again. So anyway, that being said about Larry, all of that, let's look at this here. Check it out.
To buckle up, it's the law, folks. Today we are going to do something special. We are going to be talking about a area of the law that is very prevalent, not just in the Karen Reed case, but is prevalent in the Kohberger case, in the Johnny Depp versus Amber Heard case, Masterson, trial number 1 and trial number 2, Weinstein, trial number 1 and trial number 2, the Diddy case, Adelson case, the Welch case, all cases, the Sarah Boone case, you name it, it is in every single one of those cases and then some. And that is the sometimes known as the motion for preservation of evidence, but sometimes it is simply known as don't destroy evidence.
Now, you think about that. Don't destroy evidence. Look at this here, by the way. Preserving evidence. You see that? Preserving evidence in criminal law cases. Since a criminal case involves very high stakes, a defendant has the right to fair trial under the Sixth Amendment of the Constitution. Among other things, this right requires the prosecution to preserve certain evidence, right? So you have to have preservation of evidence. Now, it doesn't matter when we're talking about preservation on the prosecution or the defense. This idea, it extends no matter what. That's the thing you have to remember, okay? When you're discussing preservation. So, I mean, again, they are supposed to, you have it on the prosecution side. They're supposed to keep up with things if you are, if you're accused of something. I mean, again, that would be like, if you think about this, again, it's not the same if you're facing the state going after you, but you think about it in a civil trial. If you're bringing a claim against somebody, you have to present evidence, right? You preserve that. You give that also to the other side, and they have a chance to face any type of accusation. They have a chance to present their own evidence as well. I mean, it's pretty simple to learn, right? Again, you know, they're under different guidelines, but it's the same notion, you know, preservation.
As don't destroy evidence. You see, some people may or may not know this. It is a crime. It is a felony to tamper with physical evidence. It's a felony in Kentucky, where I practice, and it's a felony in probably every single state in the union. What am I talking about? So typically, in an everyday basis, can you delete your text messages? I'll give you a few seconds to respond. Well, sure you can. Of course you can.
That was funny. So when that came up, somebody upstairs here, they pushed the door that goes upstairs. They pushed on it and started to close it. And I thought it was a sound effect in the video. You know? But yeah, of course you can delete your text messages. You know? Of course you can. In regular everyday life, you can delete your text messages. You can delete all kinds of stuff.
Text messages. Now, same question. What about your call log, or your GPS history, or your Facebook history, or your Facebook timeline, your voicemails, your DMs on X or Instagram? Can you delete any of those things? Answer, absolutely. There is nothing on this planet that inhibits your ability to delete things that you have control over, things that belong to you, things that are yours, things that are under your possession. Now, if they were obviously someone else's property, you would not have the ability to destroy them, at least from a legal perspective. However, what happens if you are sued? Or what happens if you're called in to testify as a witness in a trial? Can you then have carte blanche to destroy whatever you want whenever you want it? Answer, no.
Of course
Even
not.
without a subpoena, or without what's known as a motion for preservation of evidence, i.e. do not delete, destroy, etc.
See, now this is an important topic right here. You know, you saw some of the anti talking about how they did not get anything demanding preservation. And it's like, are you kidding me? You did. It's called the lawsuit. That in of itself says you can't go around just, destroying evidence simply because. And yet.
This piece right here. When you are sued, there is a presumption that there is going to be evidence that is going to be used against you. So for instance, in a personal injury case, if there is evidence that you have gone skiing 2 months after your wreck and you're claiming that you were not able to walk 3 months after the accident, your ski trip and any photos that you have taken of you skiing 2 months after the accident is very inculpatory evidence. It is evidence going against the fact that you were injured in your accident. So if your lawyer were to tell you, hey, buddy, I'm not telling you to do this, but you might want to delete this evidence on your Facebook page because that is really going to put a cramp in our style and our ability to recover money for you. So how about you just get rid of that evidence and make sure that the judge and the jury and the plaintiff's attorney or whatever, the defense attorney, never get a hold of it. Well, folks, that is a crime. Not only is it a crime, it is probably almost certainly going to be grounds for disbarment. And there have been cases out there where lawyers have told their clients openly, delete XYZ, and have gotten in some serious trouble for it.
Yes, indeed. And there have been instances in this where people have given legal advice, let's say, where you don't have to do or acknowledge. That's a problem. That's scary, having him staring at me, by the way. Oh, Lord. Man, Mark there looks very creepy. Does he not? He does look like, people always make jokes about him looking like an android or something, but he very much does. He does not look human there. Oh, my Lord. Anyway.
Back when Facebook was still in its, I don't want to say inception stages, but definitely infancy in the first few years, there was a lot of question about what lawyers can and cannot tell their clients to do. And then a very famous case, I believe from 2013, there was a lawyer who was actually sanctioned by a court for $500,000. Which was the bulk of the fee that the lawyer earned from a case where a jury awarded multiple millions of dollars to a client. It has been found since the verdict was rendered that the lawyer advised the client to, quote, clean up their timeline, end quote. The lawyer advised the client to delete without preservation potential evidence that could have been used against their client in the case.
That's wild there. I mean, when you're looking at it, what they tell them to. So attorney Matthew Murray was fined $542,000 for advising his client to delete Facebook photos during a wrongful death lawsuit against Lester. His wife was deceased in a crash involving a cement truck, deleted a photo of himself drinking and wearing an I Love Hot Mom shirt after Murray told him to, quote unquote, clean up his account. The judge ruled they both had intentionally destroyed evidence. Was also fined $180,000. The Virginia Supreme Court later upheld the sanctions, but reinstated a full 6 point. Wow. So, I mean, but you can see, like, off of that, that's bad news. And you would think, again, it's not the same thing, but it is. We are talking about the idea of destroying evidence. We keep being told that this is not a problem. It is a problem. These folks, they are actively deleting evidence all the time. They destroy evidence through chat. So anytime Preston, what was crazy is Preston, when she, actually, we'll talk about this at the end of it, okay? We'll talk about, like, how that's happened, because it is so wild to think about.
And that is very dangerous because, again, you are now becoming a witness to your own client's case. Not only are you telling them to destroy evidence, you're also telling them to commit a crime, thereby being complicit to that crime. So when you are the subject of litigation, if you are the plaintiff or the defendant or a witness or the client themselves, it is never a good idea, number one, for a lawyer to advise their client to destroy evidence, nor is it advisable for you yourself without listening to or talking to anyone to destroy evidence. I mean, look at the Karen Reed case, for example. We had evidence that all of these people, Matthew McCabe, Jennifer McCabe, Brian Albert, Colin Albert, Allie McCabe, and Brian Higgins, at the very least, all six of these, the big players, the real conspirators, co-conspirators to the murder of John O'Keefe, they all destroyed the evidence. right before it was ripe for the picking, right before the defense.
I think I'm gonna have a raider in just a second. Hey, who is it? Oh, hey, kiddo. Okay, he can come here for a minute.
Yeah, you said I
Let me
could
turn
be
this
on
off for a
here
second.
for 5 minutes.
I did tell you 5 minutes. I did tell you. Okay, you can come in for a minute. Oh well.
Hey everybody. To all my Aussie viewers, can you please hook me up with some more chocolate Tim Tams?
Tim Tams.
Hey, Dad, you know that Kinder Egg that Gigi
Or
got
Tam
me?
Tams or
No, they're Tim
whatever
Tams.
called.
It's a Tim Tam. You can buy them online.
I know, but
We never had a.
they're free.
We never had a Tim Tam before. So
Hey.
we ended up getting some Tim Tams, and they're like, "Oh my gosh, those are amazing!"
Hey, you remember the Kinder
yeah.
Egg? You remember the Kinder Egg
Yeah.
that Gigi bought me? I tried I had to try it because I never tried it. And I loved it.
You
There
love
was
the
one
Kinder Egg?
toy on the other side, and one little chocolate part with little things that I actually liked. There was little hard things in it.
Was it good?
Yeah. If I sliced it up, I had to open the first one white.
Yeah.
Then I opened the second one, and it made me build something by some little teddy bear thing. Yeah, you have to build. That was easy, but
I
wasn't
made a
easy.
character and I want to show it to all the viewers, so I'm sending it to you because yes.
Can everyone give me Kinder Eggs? I like those.
I was just asking if y'all could hook me up with some Tim Tams because I like
Yep.
Tim Tams.
Emma said, "Yeah, there's I'll
Can
send
you
some Tim
please-
Tams with extension.
Can you
That'd be
give me?
cool. So
Can you give me
yeah,
Kinder
you're making
Eggs,
stuff so
everyone?
along with it. She'll
Can you
send
give
it
me
over.
Yay!
eggs?
Kinder eggs. We can get Kinder eggs here. That is a normal thing. Okay.
I like Kinder Eggs
know.
because they have a toy
Jack's
and
mom
a
said
chocolate.
You show what I made for the. Yeah, I did. I did show this research thing, which was really cool. Yeah. Look who this is. That's the floofy cat.
That's a fluffy cat.
You like the floofy cat? Bug and lug treat fun from the floofy one.
The floofy one. You can always
She loves
have
the
my
floofy.
cockroaches.
She loves the
Not
floofy
cockroaches
cat.
because Madagascar hissing roaches are not the same.
Hey, Janice said hey to you guys.
Can I have Kinder
Said-
Eggs?
Wouldn't say the lug and bug to punish their funds for what they would like. That's
Can I have
cool.
Kinder Eggs?
Yeah, I'm
Yes,
gonna buy
we'll,
5
we'll,
million.
We'll get some Kinder eggs when
and
we go
plushies
to the
with
store.
those.
We can get some.
It was at the place that we went to with Gigi.
They have
Dad.
them at the store. Hey, watch out for that plug. If you knock it out, it'll mess with everything. Can you say thanks to Sandra?
Thanks,
Never-
Sandra.
I need to set some weird
Hey.
names.
Emma asked, it'll be a while. What flavors are those?
I want chocolate.
Chocolate. They ended up with me some chocolate ones. They're like, oh my gosh, I've never had a Tim Tam myself. Yeah.
Did you have a
Yeah.
Kinder Egg?
Whose
Okay,
username
yeah.
is Canada is watching?
Do you like Kinder Eggs, Dad?
Canada, please.
Canada is watching you.
Thanks for letting
Canada,
Gigi
can you
have
hook me
your
up
money.
with some maple syrup?
Yeah, actually, you know what? I had some Canadian
Yeah,
maple syrup
I
once.
did too, and it was
It was,
amazing. Oh my
it
God.
was very good.
I didn't like
Hey,
those.
show them my drawing.
I like
I
the
sent it
Kinder
to
Eggs,
you.
though. I like the Kinder Eggs, though. But I
Hey,
like
here's-
the
Can
Kinder
you
Eggs.
say thanks to Jay?
Thank you,
Thanks,
Jay.
Jay.
That's my per se lawyer.
Lawyer.
Per se lawyer.
That's me.
Yeah.
He's got a pear head. Do you think he has a pear head?
What's a pale head?
His
Yeah, it
head is
has a
shaped like a
pear
pear.
No.
You don't
I'm
think
not
so?
giving you no Tim Tams.
I just like Kinder Eggs.
I ain't sending you no Tim Tams. All the Tim Tams are for me.
I
Hey,
said
look
thanks to
at
Andre.
this candy. That means it's for me because I like candy
Oh,
so
no.
much.
It shows candy in the picture. Can you say thank you to Andre?
Thank you, Andre.
Say the candy
Thanks.
fun there.
That's for me.
To
That's
all
for
my
me.
Aussie viewers,
That's for me.
your Tim Tams are not safe.
Hey, Joyce said Can you say thanks to Joyce, by the way?
Thank you so much.
Here's the Tim Tam fun.
Show off my drawing that I sent you.
Where
I will
the
in a minute.
Kinder
I
Egg
have to put this
fun?
down. Let me.
What's the Kinder Egg fun?
It's it's part of it. They said a candy fun. It's part of
You know the drawing of the mad scientist character I made?
Yeah.
Can you show that to them too?
Wow. I don't know if I have it right up.
It's in your text messages.
I know, but you can't send it to my text. I have to send it to my email. I have to pull it from here to there.
I want to play a game.
I don't have a texter on there.
I want
don't
to play a
keep my text
game.
messages on my computer.
I want to play a game. Can I play a game?
Why would you keep your text message? If you keep it on there, then somebody
Can I play a game?
can get into
I
your
guess
stuff.
I gotta send you them.
I'll get this one right here. I can get that one, and I'll put it in my email. Send me the other one.
The mad scientist one.
Yeah,
Okay, I gotta fish around in my gallery a bit.
Is it recent?
Go up a bit more.
I just saw I heard Bob for a second. I
Wait,
just saw I
So
heard a
you,
Bob.
you wanted me to dig through all of these, and you
Let
don't
me
even
get
know.
it. Let me get it. I wish I knew you.
Hey, Dad. Hey,
Let
Dad.
me get it.
You're a nut.
Please. I
yeah.
want to show
Can you
off.
say thank you to Janice?
Thank you.
That's a chocolate money or Kinder Eggs. That'd be
Kinder
good,
Eggs.
money.
Kinder
thank
Eggs
you,
have
Daddy.
chocolate in it.
Sandra mentions Kinder Eggs. Can you say thank you, Sandra?
Thank you, Sandra.
She said, what
Finally.
flavor Tim Tams? And Kinder here has a toy. Yeah,
What
the
flavor Tim
Kinder's
Tams? As I said,
Chocolate.
chocolate.
Choco. Yeah,
Thank you.
Kinder's here have a toy. You know, they have like a little bitty toy, and that's where she got them.
Can
at
I
first,
pull
but-
up the scientist thing?
Yeah,
I
pull
got
it
the
up.
Kinder
Did you pull it
Eggs.
up?
Not
Did you send it to
first.
me?
I got them
I
last.
already sent it to you like a billion years ago.
Well, you gotta
but
send it
okay.
again. You have to resend it.
Hey, Dad.
Joan, can you say thank you to Joan?
Thank you,
Joe,
Joe.
thank you.
Said that's for you too. For $20. That's nice.
Look at that.
Yeah, that's cute. Huh? Wyatt's Grammy said, "Can you say thank you to Wyatt's Grammy?"
Thank you, Wise Grab Me.
Said it's a whatever fund.
I'm going to get lollipop fun then. I'm getting lollipop fun and Kinder Egg fun.
Taz said, "Yep, set me straight, huh?"
Yeah.
Lollipop fun and Kinder Egg fun.
Hey,
I like Kinder Eggs though.
Heather said that's for you guys. Can you say thank
$1.09.
you, Heather?
I meant $9 and more.
You make $9, is that right?
I meant to say no. You know what,
right.
Kev?
Bug's playing what's
Yeah,
the
right.
smell game.
I'm about
She's a nut. is
to
what she is.
become
What's your favorite
one
game?
with
I want to
the
play
Did you
the
send it to
Pac-Man
me?
game.
Did you send me that picture yet?
I'm trying, okay.
I want to play the Pac-Man game.
No, we have
Okay.
to. I have the chat pulled up there too. Hey Jay, our parents say lawyer said send $10. Then said
I want to
love
play
you
the
guys.
game.
Can you say
I
thank you
want
to Jay?
Thank you, Jay.
Jay.
But I want to play the Pac-Man game.
You can't play it on my phone right now.
I said-
That's
I
how
said
I see
you
my
can-
chat.
I
I
said
can't
you
play
can.
while I'm looking at the chat. You can play tonight later on. Okay. I have a game on my phone. It's like, you know, one of those games where you run around and eat everything. And one of the things you can eat them with is a Pac-Man. So that's what she's talking
But
about.
I got every single character.
Hey, here's Maybe Not. I like that name, the way she spells it.
Yay.
Maybe Not.
Hey,
Said the summer is short fun.
I got all the
yeah.
characters.
I'm going to prolong summer by setting the sun on fire.
I got all the characters in that game. My dad, I got all the characters in the Pac-Man game.
Yeah.
Can you tell everyone that I have all the characters in the Pac-Man game?
Yeah, she has all the characters in the
Yeah,
Pac-Man.
show off
There you
show
go.
off my pictures.
All right, well, can we say thanks to K-Rab?
Thank you, K.
They said
Crab.
20 Yeah, maybe
Crab.
that is crab. You know, I've never thought about that. That's funny.
Crab.
I've seen that name a million times. I never thought that could be Carab. It's so funny.
Please spell it with a C because my
Hey.
dad's confused.
Yes, that's my old eyes, right?
I will
there's
bite your hand on you.
Hey, there's Sassy. Can you say thanks to Sassy?
Thank you, Sassy.
She said you sound more grown up than in the past few years. You do, man. You're starting to sound old on me.
Yeah.
You know.
Everyone, I really am fine.
What is the image?
I'm
Which
five,
is this one?
everyone.
That's-
No, the one that you said my profile.
I'm five,
Oh.
everyone.
How dare you, father?
I'm
You're
five, everyone.
forsaking me.
You haven't
I'm
seen your
five, everyone.
profile image before?
Everyone, I'm
That's
five.
us. Look.
I thought that was a big fat lizard.
You thought you were. She saw my phone here, so she could see my profile image, and she thought that I have like me looking into a crystal ball, and the kids, you know, it's a dead punk
Cassie?
picture.
Cassie?
I
Yeah, just a-
I want to see.
she thought it was something else. See there.
Ah, that's me.
guess which
and
Yeah.
one's
that's
the
Sissy.
traditional one.
Exactly.
Hey,
Let me.
everyone, I like the Pac-Man game because I love Pac-Man.
I use digital and physical.
Money!
Death's Angel. Can you say thank you?
Thank you.
She said, "Love, would you make me a Black Widow spider? I'll pay
Hey.
for it. Putting a package together for
Hey
you."
everyone.
What do you mean make you a Black
Like
Widow?
like a keychain or something. You can't talk the whole time. You gotta let both people
Out of
talk.
clay or out
I
of
want
beads?
Everyone, I'm
Also, my art commissions are open.
It is. They're opened up. Let me
Yeah.
pull up your.
Everyone, I'm 5.
I will
Yeah.
charge you $5 million jillion dollars for
No.
one piece of art.
You're.
Can you see if
Quit
we got any
joking
money
around.
yet? Oh, that
I-
looks cute, doesn't
can't.
it?
Mm-mm.
Yeah, okay.
You
I
got
forgot about that part.
Yeah, but I'll.
That part's
let me see.
unfinished. I
Everyone-
forgot to color it, y'all.
Yeah, I'll pull up your other picture. Okay. You got the one picture that's not done there, but we'll pull up the other one here.
Yeah,
Here.
I
You ready
had
to
to
show off
draw
your
the
art
name
there?
so people wouldn't think it's Seth Brundle.
Yeah. You want to show off your fly art there? Check him out. I like his little hand there. It's
Oh, yeah,
awesome.
I
I didn't
will
even
buy
notice
you.
the hand detail until
No.
just now.
Sissy
reaching
won't
out.
let me talk.
They're chilling together.
Sissy won't let me talk.
Yeah, they're just
You
chilling.
both get to talk. You know?
I'm
I
5.
do that on my phone with my finger.
Oh, so
I'm 5. Everyone.
K-Rab is
I'm 5. Everyone.
yeah, I know you're fine, babe. They do. It's Kim and then Rabbit, the first few letters. So I never thought about it. It could be. I just always went with K, like it's 2 names. I never thought it could have been something else. It's so
Please
funny.
stop that.
Leave.
So everybody just walks
This
in.
is my son now.
Hey, Britt says, "Hey, that's said nice drawings and greetings from Norway." You know,
Oh, yeah.
that's cool there.
It's
You
my
know,
fault.
when does the littlest one turn 6? In about what, 3 weeks now?
3 weeks.
3
now.
weeks, yeah. In 3 weeks, she turns 6.
I'm jumping up and down.
I know you are way too. You are way too crazy.
Sissy came first. Sissy came first.
Do what? She
Up
came
here.
first. She came first.
Mom,
Well, you're
you're
one
supposed
of
to
you.
go too.
It's one of you. We'll be there in a minute, okay?
Sissy went first.
Oh no.
I got 5 minutes. Dad said I could. Dad didn't tell you could.
Here, 1 second. I'm having a traffic control problem here.
That was the couch.
Yeah. Okay. Did you want to talk for a couple minutes?
Yeah, but I really like the mad scientist stuff.
Yeah.
What about my
But I have no idea how to draw men that have any other body type. I can only draw one because I studied way too much into female anatomy.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you learn anatomy over time.
Yeah, and the reason
takes
I'm so
time.
good at female anatomy is because I'm a female myself.
Yeah. Well, it does help when you.
Yeah!
Yeah. That helps too. But I mean, you learn it over time.
I'm seriously irritated because I can only draw like this one body type.
I told people you were going to come over
Men.
here and they were going to show you love because you weren't feeling love the other day. So, you know,
Yeah.
yeah. So you can see it again. Look, you got thousands of people here chillaxing.
Do any of y'all like the movie Joe's Apartment?
Do they like Joe's Apartment?
Yeah, because I watched it the other day and I really think the cockroaches are funny.
Yeah, that freaking movie is a mess. It actually used to be short skits
Yeah,
that
you
it was
tell me.
based on.
Me and my dad were watching TV earlier.
Janice said that her children were 6 years apart as well. So it worked well because their son was premature. Daughter was a great helper. Well, you're a great helper. You know,
Yeah, I have to do everything for my sister.
you don't
and
do everything.
She made me turn on her TV and
Really?
put on her show, which
Oh.
she has 2 perfectly good hands.
It's funny, but you do get her to do stuff too. If you don't want to run up the steps and like grab a drink or something, you'll be like, "Go grab me a water," you know.
Yeah,
"Grab me a
with
juice."
with
Uh-huh.
500 threats from her.
Yeah, well,
Coming
that's what
to
you
me.
do. Though. That's what you do. Maybe not. There are plenty of YouTube tutorials on drawing bodies. Yes, there are plenty of those. Plus, you have access to artists and everything else. You know.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, I mean, there's plenty of them out there. So,
did any of y'all watch The God's Will?
actually, we were watching
Like-
earlier.
Anybody on stream?
We skipped over today. We were skipping through the Squid Game.
Yeah, I
challenges.
like the purple guy. He's so silly.
It's like, well, I was like, yeah, I don't know if you like the Squid Game.
I only like the
other
bad
stuff.
guys though.
Well, I mean, the bad guys were funny. I did not like I thought, oh, well, I like the games in 2 and 3, but I thought, oh, they did so much.
The
Like,
knives were really cute.
well, they didn't pay out with anything. And then they put the baby in the freaking thing. I'm not going to ruin the whole thing if you haven't seen
Eat the
it.
baby.
Yeah, don't say anything about the end. But they put a
I haven't
baby in
even
the
watched
show.
season 3 yet.
Yeah, I'm just saying they put a baby in the show. And you know, with a baby in the show, it causes conflict issues. Like
yeah,
it
but-
limits what you can do.
I was watching The God's Will the other day in my room on my phone because I can.
Mhm.
And I saw this character and I looked it up and his name is Angasho and he's my favorite because he's the like a Kokishi doll with arms and crap and I love him very much. He's my favorite and he is now officially getting sculpted by clay
People probably have no idea what you're talking about.
as The God's Will, the
Yeah.
movie,
Yeah, they probably have no idea.
the freaking movie.
You haven't
Do
watched
any of you know
of
it?
K-Rab, you've never watched any of Squid Game. So the first season is an amazing show, and it should have been a standalone. They put out a season 2 and 3, but that's really just one season. The problem is, again, without spoiling a lot, they pull in all these storylines, and they don't really go anywhere. I don't. When I watched 2 by itself, without the finish, because it doesn't finish. You have to have 3 to finish. It's one season, basically a long season. When you watch it together, it's okay. You'll never recreate Squid Game 1, so it should have been a standalone.
JJ and Papa 2020.
Yep.
Are you time travelers?
Now they may be like the year. Lug is still in time. What about me? Let me talk. LOL.
I'm about to make this man bald. That is a threat. Oh, we watched Terry
yeah,
2.
Oh yeah, the rage. Yeah.
Yeah, I hate Eric. If you're watching this, I hate you.
Actually, Eric, the guy who plays him, is like, he's not a teenager. Or well, he was in his 20s then. I think he's about 52 now. So
I hate the character Eric.
I don't think he's randomly watching though. Here's Janice in 10. He thinks Janice.
Thank you, John.
She said,
S.
"Hey, give it time. Bug will be your best friend. And you'll always have her close at heart. She won't always be 5 like she is.
Doesn't feel like it.
Soon she'll be mature like you are."
Please, please give me a time
Oh, they
machine so
stick
I
up.
can steal the older bug that's around my age.
They stick over each other though, man.
Yeah.
If they ever get in trouble, they're like little co-conspirators. You know,
Cartel bosses.
the little one will be like if big one here does something and she's gonna get in trouble, the little one will be like, I did it, Dad, I did it. And be like, I know you didn't do it. No, I did it. And you know, Sissy doesn't need to get in trouble. It's okay, Dad. You know, that's like,
Yeah,
man.
like if I stole the last like candy bar that was literally for Mom or something and I got in trouble, all you would stick up for me like, I ate it.
Yeah, she's like that. It's good though. You know, it's good to have a little co-conspirator, right?
Yeah. One that I can sacrifice.
You're nut. All right.
That's why they love
hey,
me.
anything else you want to throw in there? Because I need to finish up my stream.
To anybody who's making fly mutant thingy OCs, you have my permission to to add my bunny OC.
Do you want to make a like a beaded Black Widow? Then that'll be pretty cool.
That's gonna be hard to do
That won't be
since
hard.
Audia tingles
No,
on
you
my
got the.
string.
Actually, somebody sent those keychain pets, so it has a layout of how the keychain should lay out. So that
Yeah,
should be
but
good.
there's not Black Widow layout, so I'm gonna have to look one up online.
Well, you can look it out, but I'm saying it should have all the stuff where you could lay them out. By the way, we went over to the P.O. box. That was a wild amount of stuff. I still haven't photographed everything.
Yeah, I stole one of the wombat plushies.
Yes, there were wombats. There were a couple of wombats there. Were
To
cool.
the Aussie viewer that sent me that, thank you so much.
Yeah, actually, all of that.
Yeah.
To all
of you,
of
you're
that.
the best.
All that crafting stuff is amazing. you
Yeah.
know?
Like
I mean,
when Dad gets it all, I'm going to take one of those embroidery kits and start like stitching away.
hey, the Floofy Cat said, the Floofies are pearlies. I like the Floofy Cat. She, little one, loves the Floofy Cat. The bug enjoys our name, but you have the candy of her choice, and she needs and her craft desires. Indeed,
The
she
Floofy
loves.
Cat, you speak like you're leading a cult.
Yeah, actually, they're a cat speaking to us. Look, see there.
The cat.
The Floofies are pearlies. See, like a cat, pearlies. Yeah, that's good. I like it.
The
cute.
Floofy Cat.
It's cute.
Why do like most cats hate water?
Why do they hate water? Can they interview them like they're a real cat?
I gotta. If they want to talk like that, they gotta answer my question.
Emma, thanks for the 5 there. Emma said, my sister is 20 years older than me. Enjoy the close age. Well, yeah, I guess that is a large gap.
Sometimes I want to turn her into a bug.
Well, I had step siblings, and I was like, man, enjoy having a close sibling there, because that's, it's a lot better.
I may or may not have tried to eat her hair.
What in the world is that about? That's so random.
You cannot trust us together because we will
You'll
summon
eat each other's
Cthulhu.
hair. Oh, you're gonna summon Cthulhu. Is that part of summoning Cthulhu?
And we will fist fight all the old gods.
Is that? You're gonna fist fight him. Is that your plan for the future?
And I'm going to win.
Wow.
And if anybody has a problem with that, you can talk it out with me.
You're a nut.
Also, the Floofy Cat. Why do most cats like the liquid treats?
The Floofy Cat said the water is wet.
Yeah, the water is wet. If water was dry.
The floof needs dry. The floof, to be floofy, you need dry. That makes sense.
What if I shave you? You won't be the Floofy Cat anymore.
I got a call.
You'll be.
Sorry, I had to mute for 1 second. Emma, thanks for the 5 again.
Emma Washington
Said I was adopted. Yeah, that's a good name. See, that's like a.
Okay,
my
go
name
tell
is
your
so
dad
basic.
George. Go tell your dad George.
I wish I
that
had a
owes
name
me
like that.
$5.
I wish I was. It's not on the $5 bill. Remember?
Yeah, I know.
I know the joke. No, I wish I had a cool name like Washington or something prestige. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but that was the name of president.
Instead, got that basic last name.
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. Could we have like a cool name or a conqueror? I could be like that umbrella Genghis Khan. You almost.
What if my last name was Escobar?
What was your name going to be if you were a boy?
It was about to be like the Star Trek thing, and I cannot pronounce it because it's going to sound like a cuss word, and Mom will get mad at me.
Yeah, her name was going to be. I told her. I'm very serious about this. I was like, your name, if you would have been a boy, would have been Thaddeus. No, I'm just kidding. What was you don't remember?
Hey, the Floofy Cat.
You don't remember your Faulkner name?
Yeah, but the Floofy Cat.
I was messing with you. I'll read it 1 second, So do you really, you don't remember your...
The Floofy Cat, that is not what I asked. I asked why they like the
her name, for real. I'm just messing with her. Her name, I told her, would have been Tiberius.
I was about to strangle him.
Faulkner Tiberius. I like Tiberius. You would have been like, that's an epic name. You know, Tiberius.
Also, I would be LUB instead of LUG. That's a horrible name.
Tiberius.
That's a horrible name, guys.
I'll be a send a 5 there. I'm the older sibling, and frankly, everything she's saying makes sense to me. Also, punch out Cthulhu all day.
Yeah,
We got that.
commit murder on the old gods. Who's
I
gonna
like
stop
Thaddeus,
us?
see?
The law.
See, I told her I was gonna. She has never been interested in Star Trek yet, and I'm like, man, William Shatner was amazing, and his name, his name in there, it was Captain Kirk.
I only watch
Tiberius.
horror movies and bug movies and bug
Tiberius,
documentaries.
kiddo.
I only watch bug documentaries, as in shows, some kid shows, and I say some, SOME.
Yeah.
I don't watch all kid shows.
All right. I gotta finish my show though.
Also, I'm going to go watch Tales from the Crypt Keeper.
Oh, you want to watch the cartoon version? Yeah. All right.
Yeah, because
It's
you
marked
bought
on
it
my
for
account.
me.
Yeah. No,
You're
it's
stealing my sketchbook.
it's marked on there. Go enjoy it. Yeah. So I'd forgotten they had a kid show back in the day called it was a Crypt Keeper show. I totally forgot about it. All right. We have
rain in it.
Yeah, no, it was a kid show for some reason. That was not a kid's show. So to have a kid show is the most bizarre thing in the world. I'm going to finish off this video though. Then we'll talk a little bit on this and then read super chats and be done tonight. Okay.
What?
I said I got a little bit more video to watch, read super chats, and then we'll watch something tonight probably.
Also, you guys, thank you for funding my horror movie and horror plushie fund.
Thank you for funding my horror plushie fund.
Why? Because I made a plushie of Baxter Stockman from TMNT. I know it's not horror, but let her go dream.
Yeah, you did make
if
a cool one.
If you encountered him, IRL, I'm 1, jealous of you. 2, that would be scary.
Yeah. All right. We're gonna hit the rest of this here. Yeah, I did tell her that she had a good 5 minutes today. They want to be on the show so bad. They see the microphone and they're like, "Ooh, microphone." I can talk to the world, and they're fun to talk to on there. To be honest, sometimes it's a good relief from this insanity that we cover. And again, the DUI guy video that we're talking about here anyway, you can go and check out anytime. It is under $542,000 fine for deleting evidence, lawyer's career destroyed. And the reason to talk about it, period, is the fact that, again, there are people out there that seem to think that destroying evidence is okay. Like, you're not going to have a problem with it. So, they brag about it over. Like, what blows my mind is, like, they'll talk about with 2L, for example. You're talking about people that are accused of running a business, trying to destroy another person's business, while conspiring with these other people. And what are they doing? Anytime that person shows up, they delete all of their commentary. And they tell you they do it not because they're doing something against terms of service or anything. No, because they know people screenshot it and it can be used against them. So they have admitted that they are destroying evidence for the purpose of destroying evidence. It is such a bizarre thing. Like, why would you ever say those words out loud? But they did. They absolutely did. It's the most bizarre thing. Anyway, let's bust through this real quick. It's not a long video, like I said. It's just more proof. What been saying.
Filed their motions right before the judge issued an order. They had to shift the timeline to pretend like it all happened before. The reality is it all happened after. They were just trying to cover it up to make sure that nobody gets the real evidence of what happened that fateful night. So You as a lawyer, as an advocate, should never tell your client to clean up their Facebook, as this lawyer had to pay $500,000 just to buy their way out of it. Essentially, that was the fee, the penalty that they had to pay for giving their clients advice on how to commit a crime. Oh, and you as the client or the potential defendant or even the plaintiff never, ever should destroy or delete evidence, because once again, it could be used against you. In a very, very famous way, when there is the absence of evidence, there's something known as a...
There's also there's also the issue here too. Why would you tell your client to destroy evidence? I mean, ultimately, you want to give your client the best defense. You also want to win, of course. But why are you telling them that? I mean, if they're guilty, under law, you're supposed to. If you know that there's a problem, you aren't supposed to be covering it up. But you have people out there that actively engage in breaking law. Breaking the law. They do. And we all know this. This is the most jacked up thing about the profession, with lawyers. We all know that there are lawyers out there that actively do stuff like this. These things should put a person in prison, but they don't. And you rarely see a real decision go against them. The most shocking thing about that decision was that there was a decision at all, really. I mean, the reason it happened, though, is because there was a win for them beforehand, and it's given back a lot of the money they won because of. But we see lawyers do this kind of stuff. The bar doesn't police them. You have to have enough noise and enough crazy. Sometimes something will happen after that, but very, very rarely does anything happen to lawyers. It's a profession that shields itself, because again, if the bar ever started actually disciplining that many lawyers, they wouldn't make their money, would they? Anyway, let's continue.
Missing evidence instruction that could go in the jury instructions in your jury trial to the jury that is going to be deciding your case. The missing evidence instruction, as a matter of fact, is going to allow the jury to extrapolate. They are going to be permitted to believe in the jury instruction.
This is important. When we listen to this, we're going to pull this back up. Okay.
By the judge, we'll read it to them. It will state something along the lines of, you are to presume that if this evidence had been in existence, it would have been detrimental to that party. Basically, it would have been either exculpatory or inculpatory.
Now, that's an important distinction. So, in the destroying of evidence, come on, where's that block? Okay, there it is. So, missing evidence. All right, missing evidence instruction. Why does it exist? To ensure fairness. When one side loses or destroys key evidence, intentionally or through negligence. When is it used? When the judge believes important evidence was deleted, destroyed, or not preserved by a party in a case. What happens next? A judge, they're supposed to anyway, tell a jury they may assume that missing evidence would have hurt the side that lost it. It's called a negative inference, of course. They have draw a negative inference from it because, well, it's not there anymore. Why was it destroyed? Well, now he gets in trouble. The party responsible for the missing evidence. It can seriously weaken your case. So when we're talking about people destroying evidence, that doesn't just mean, oh, well, we never get to bring that stuff up. No, in fact, what's supposed to happen is you're supposed to be able to infer that when there's evidence, when there's entire Facebook groups that have gone missing, you're supposed to be able to infer that the damage done there, it wasn't just intentional, but it was hiding something.
Mental to that party. Basically, it would have been either exculpatory or inculpatory, depending on who you are. So for instance, as a criminal defense attorney, I could have a missing evidence instruction that the police officer had a body camera on and it is missing and they can't find it. I can say, well, it will be presumed to the jury that that evidence would have exonerated my client. It would have been good stuff on there going against the police and for my client. Or in a civil case, let's say if you are the defendant who is saying, well, the plaintiff deleted their Facebook account. The defense in the civil case can say, well, we can presume that had this Facebook page still been in existence, it would have damaged the plaintiff's case and helped me, the defendant, and so on and so forth. So folks, don't delete evidence. Don't forget to subscribe to the video, subscribe to the channel.
See, I mean, that is a big deal here. Again, you have lawyers. Now, one thing that you need to glean from this, by the way, is DUI guy has been right on some other stuff. You know, some other stuff that he warned them. He warned them that if they went forward with the thumbnail litigation, for example, he warned them that they would run into problems. They would probably end up paying. And lo and behold, sanctions hearings. Now, when that came up, remember, we had BBB say that was all conspiracy and it was never happened. It was just a conspiracy for clicks. There would never be a sanctions hearing. And yet, lo and behold, one day it'll happen. One day, baby, we'll finally get it. It's so bizarre, man. They've done everything they can. Their idea is if I kick the can down the road long enough, if I deny justice, that in and of itself is a win. Isn't that a bizarre way of trying to go about this? I mean, we heard that they had all this proof, all of this stuff they could rely on, and instead it's been kicking cans down the road over and over again. You know, it blows my mind. It does. It indeed blows my mind. Oh man, give me a second here. Yeah. Oh, did we upset one of the little ecosystemers? That's so funny. They get banned for what? They just show how awful they are as human beings. You know, ban them, ignore them. Yeah. That's the one thing they get to have their opinion, but when it's so bizarre that weirdos want to hate on kids. I've never understood it. I haven't. I've never understood it, you know? But that's why one of the reasons too, I keep my chat on a phone so I can watch it through there. And when I'm watching it on my phone, I'm watching it as a viewer too. So if things are held, see, this is something you have to watch. Like if the kids walk down here, there are some people that are so awful that I know better than to watch on my mod account. See, on my mod account, you know, as the person who controls the account, I can see any post anybody sets up, even if it's held by Google or it's held by mods or whatever, I can still see it. And when that goes up, I mean, there's just some nasty people, man. They do some gross stuff. But remember, all of them are about the protection of kids, right? You know, they're probably people that they probably have rules about them parking too close to a playground, but they'll target kids in other ways. I mean, seriously, what gross people, man. That type of person, just gross people. But it doesn't help them in any way, shape, or form. They just end up getting banned. What a bunch of losers. Yeah, the mod. Well, the mods around here are good. You know, that's why the mods exist. Really, the mods on the channel, I don't ban for a lot. You know, I try not to. You have to sometimes ban some of these idiots, though, because ultimately they will take I don't mind people having the ability to speak and talk about stuff, but some of them will take that to mean, oh man, I get to spam the chats and do anything I want to do. And no, you actually don't get to do that. You get banned for that kind of stuff, you know. But typically, if we're just talking about conversation, I don't care. Trolling, don't really care. You know, spamming's not allowed, you know. And again, why would a mod not ban you for other crap like that? But yeah, it's all good there. You know. All right, let's see. Let's pull up some stuff here. Oh no. Yeah, Rozilla's like, yeah, they're cute in their own way, but wait till they start dating. But the fear of God. Yeah. I have not thought that far ahead. I just enjoy the moment now and don't think about, like, kids at a whatever age, I join them at 11 and 5, little one. By the way, somebody sent a insect habitat along with a bunch of other stuff. Again, I've been taking pictures of it, and I will have to get together all the insect habitat stuff because the oldest took it. She just ran off with it. It's like, all right. I took off with it. It was pretty cool, though. I really liked it. But I mean, again, almost everything that comes to the P.O. box is like crafts and other things. It's kid-related stuff. Rarely a thing comes that is pointed toward me, and I am totally fine with that. I, as a kid, could not afford crafts. It was just crafting. It's so expensive, and I could not afford it. So for them to be able to have crafts and people enjoy, like, having them, sending over and knowing that they can make things. And I mean, it's amazing. And to be able to explore any craft you want, man, like I said, as a kid, I would love that. I'd love to be able to, but that's just so expensive, man, back in the day. Anyway, let's do some super chats here. Let's see. Raise better boys and girls. Want to carry weapons. Unfortunately, if you live in the United States, it's not like that, Raise better boys, and girls, really. Because, I mean, it's not just a boy thing. I mean, there are some awful girls out there, too. Unfortunately. But, yeah, unfortunately, in the U.S. especially, weapons, that comes up anyway. My kids understand safety with any of that. I mean, but I don't pretend that there aren't dangerous people out there for sure. You're right. All right, let's go. Max Lab, what's up? Thanks for the super chat there, kicking that off too. Thank you, Max Lab. I appreciate you, bud. So many cases to look at too, isn't there? I was like, I wonder if all the bankruptcy stuff, is caught up or not. I couldn't remember, and apparently 23 was the only one. I'd seen somebody posting about 23, but I hadn't looked at the other stuff. It is interesting. Again, if you gather $6,000, you think about this. If you were to file with a lawyer with $6,000, should it look like you by yourself is filing? I look at some of those filings and I'm like, these don't look like a lawyer had any hand in them whatsoever. It just looks like somebody, you can go online and find all the forms you need for bankruptcy. And you can do that on your own for free. And then you can take a few $100s and do whatever. But $6,000, I'm not encouraging that, by the way. I'm just saying you can do that. And it looks like that's just how this felt. I would think like a very not very skilled first year or something was doing this. Just a mess. Maybe not. Thank you for 5 gifted memberships, by the way. Thank you, maybe not. That is much appreciated too. Man, maybe not. I always love your name. Always do. I always show the kids. I was like, look at this, check the name out. Sassy thinks so too. Did Only Me post screenshots of his transactions? No, he posted dates of transactions. It's very descriptive in dates, though, and amounts. Very much so. No, it's never actually posted here's the thing, though. They said that the $56,000 was real before. Now they want to deny it now, but in the past they confirmed $56,000 was actually a real amount. So I mean, that's a real problem for them. When I saw that number at first, I was like, holy crap, are we kidding? Is it really that much? By the way, I I am surprised that they really thought that nobody would remember what they did, including that guy. Like he wouldn't remember. She also, I mean, okay, here, check this out. See, I keep screenshots for this very reason too. See, back when he was talking about how he sent money and they were calling him a liar and more, you had 2L being like, no, he did send a lot. He did. And they were talking about the amount of money, it kept coming up. And here, by the way, is when Marla, just to note, because they wanted to pretend, Marla said that they had never begged him for money. She had never been part of that at all. Well, here it is, by the way, just to say, we are setting up a process to donate, fund another attorney, and pay defense expenses. By the way, they wanted you, only me, to pay for their bankruptcy. That's what they wanted, sir. They misled all these other people that are going to mislead you too. And wouldn't that have been interesting? Because if they took that money and used it for whatever, you'd had no control over it. I mean, if you gave money to them, it's supposed to go to MP, but you see how money's gone. But yeah, she lied. She kept saying, I did not. Well, there you go, man. Receipts. Receipts, baby. But yeah, the 56,000 rather, she went in. I'd have to dig through all I've got, let me see. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I have 7 live streams and etc. talking about the money. And they were more than willing to say that the $56,000 was real when they thought they could get more money from him. Now they're trying to say that it wasn't that amount. And to me, that blows my mind. What you doing, kiddo?
So you do a you pushing because Bobby's listening to you like sheep all the time.
Give me a kiss. You have to go upstairs there, baby. I have to finish up what I'm doing, okay? And then we'll do stuff. All right. Love you, baby. Oh, so funny. Let's see. There was See, it went from you had the same live streams, though, with stuff like this. Again, went from begging for money to, oh, he's using his money to divide us. Like they played this game and they gamed him. They were like, well, if your money isn't useful, then screw you. But yeah, they confirmed the amount. See, oh, here it is. You want confirmation? So they're saying that 56,000 wasn't there, right? Well, here it is now. Look, the 56K. They used that specific total. There you go. The 56K was not just for the barn. You notice that there. So that's their own statement. They are using that amount. So for them to come back now and to say, oh, no, not that amount. Again, I'm not, thank you, by the way, Sassy. It is a good discussion there. I think we should go back through all of those different ones. What's the Ohio court? Now, I saw, so this is interesting. I'm not going to pull this up in front of you because you're not supposed to be posting these things. Apparently, though, I'm going to guess LP decided to leak a document. So I read over it. The document is asking for specific dates and specific items with whatever was given for a third violation. So they wanted specifics on there, and there weren't enough specifics. So they denied a third violation because they wanted more specifics. That doesn't mean you can't refile them. I'm sure they'll probably be refiling within a few days, but they just wanted more specifics on items like when they happen and more. I'd be going through, God, I know they've got specifics. So, I don't know. Like I said, that may be, who knows? I don't have the whole document in front of me, and I don't have the other stuff in front of me from before on if there was something missing from an exhibit or a couple exhibits, where they wanted to put something in. But yeah, there was a denial on that. But it's just a refile. I mean, it's so bizarre. These people are. I mean, think about this. They are taking a protective order. I did. The way I found out about this was I saw Darth Touch post this. Posted a filing about the protective order. Now, who could that have come from? Well, you know who that came from. So they get straight to them, straight away. They're like, oh, I'll do an article on that. Maybe it'll deflect away from all the crazy with the money. Maybe it'll deflect away from the bankruptcy. Maybe, just maybe, it'll give us a new Tiger Boy because we need one so bad. Oh my God, they are so desperate, man. They're in such a bad state right now. But yeah, I'm not going to pull the thing up because, like I said, we know who leaked it, and let it be attached to them. The judge was pretty intent on that. And the crazy thing is, again, you have a protective order against you, right? So what do? You leak documentation about the other party to people so they can harass another party. Good job, man. Good job. Just keep making that case for folks, man. It's just wildness. But yeah, it'll just be a refile on it. They celebrate some of the strange. It's funny too. Like if you bring up something, it reminds me of like with Bruce, like when an item was stricken, like Randy, oh man, you're going to have to refile. Like going to refile next week, right? We got something denied. I'm going to go refile again. Okay. Well, with BBB, it's not a big deal, right? It's just going to be refiled. No big deal, they would say. But they need something to celebrate as a win. So you can look at that. By the way, it has been posted on the Facebook thing. I'm just not attaching it to myself because it was not leaked or given to me. And it should be attached to the person that decided to link it. Should be, because I'm sure were told by a court not to do that. Just wildness, man. You would think that, by the way, thank you, Sassy, too. Chris, thanks for the fun there. Let's just spend $2,272 on 25 fence panels like LMNOPs, including cement and 40 posts for Tubetown. Yeah, I think I am being way over fair to say $5,000 for the fence. I think that would cover any materials, and they already had other money. They had Lowe's cards and everything else. But if we play along and we say, okay, they spent $5,000 on that, and they spent $5,000 on their party, where'd the rest of the money go? That's a huge question. Again, we keep being told, oh, no, it's nobody else's business. It's nobody's business. Donors seem to have a problem with it. Donors seem to wonder what the hell. Again, these people, though, some of these folks are not intelligent enough to understand the cost of some of these items. Like what they should cost versus, again, if you give me $20,000 and I supply $5,000 fence, did I do what you wanted? That money also isn't theirs to dip into or anything else. And to say there's only $18,000 left over, that is an insane thing. We've had two people say, now I'm sure that'll change later, but oh my God. Maybe they shouldn't have burned the big donor before they worked this shit out. Dawn, thanks for the 2 there. Making the girls resin trinket box. I thought it'll be cute, man. They will love that, by the way. They will absolutely love that. Thank you. I mean, the fact that they are shown so much support, that is much appreciated. That is. It blows my mind sometimes. That is much appreciated. Juliet. Oh, look at the cute one there, too. That's it. It's a cute picture there. Love to the bug. Thank you. She is cutie. Also, Liz. Hey, what's up, Liz, by the way? Thank you for the 14. Oh, she's adorable. She's a sweet. She is. She's a sweetie. She's a nice kid, too. You know? Yep. He said, thanks for the 5. He said, I'm raising money for Tuck and Megan. However, I'm keeping all of it. I like money. Hi, Tuck and Chet. The world's only honest lawyer. The only honest lawyer in the world. That is so funny, you know? Oh my God. So these morons are now, they're telling their chat, apparently, that I just got texted thing telling their chat that YouTube chat is copyrighted. Oh my God. That is so funny. They don't understand. Text messages, they have to meet specific criteria. They have to be a certain type of creative work. And even then, you will not win with it. I'm telling you, because it is not in terms of service. YouTube, look up the chat itself. Your chat itself is not copyrighted. It's the straight up thing. Content. What content would be copyrighted? What a bunch of idiots, man. It boggles my freaking mind. I'm telling you too. Like, what they're encouraging is for one of their jackasses in their chat to try to copyright strike a channel. And if they do, I'm going to raise funds to help them sue whatever jackass does it, because they have to. In order to go forward with a copyright claim, you have to go to court for it. And if one of these jackasses in their channels out there, they hit a channel trying to say that that's their copyrighted material, I mean, you have ownership over it, and you manage somehow to hit one of them, I don't give a fuck who it is. I don't care if it's for whomever. They've been going after. It's funny. I saw them in. I took a photograph of the Miyagi chat. Again, you know, I went in there. I was looking at the newest video where they're talking about the stuff with the big money donor, and apparently their chat is not happy that they took screenshots of some of their statements. Well, they're public. They're not copyrighted. You're an idiot. And again, if you think you're going to hit a channel for it, I would even help. I would make a point. Because, you know, it's not about the channel there. It's about reining these losers in. And these losers want to strike people and stuff, telling them false. It tells you, though, they don't know. That's how much they know about law. Right? They're so knowledgeable. They think that chats are freaking. Oh my God, man. It makes my brain hurt. So stupid, man. These people, it makes my head hurt some days. Tracy, thank you for that 5 gifted memberships too. Thank you, Tracy, man. Appreciate you all the time. Very much so. You all the time. Like I said, I feel like I need to tell all of you things more, you know, for sure. Sassy, thanks for the 5. It's effed up. Tools are worse than Jamaican scammers. Not saying Lynette deserves the money, but AG deserves to have a better living environment. Well, regardless of how, you know, you or I or anyone else thinks too. You make a good point in here, Sassy, with deserving. See, to remove myself from the situation, these idiots gave their money to Lynette Preston. Now, it doesn't matter if they gave the money to an intermediary. They gained it by fundraising in their name. It doesn't matter if they said it's for a house or whatever. It doesn't fucking matter. It's her money. You know, you can't do that. There have been lawsuits about that before. There was a very high profile case. Again, there were 2 people. I hate the word influencers, but we're going to use it because I can't remember what platforms. Probably YouTube, and I don't remember right off the bat. But these 2 quote unquote influencers, they found a homeless guy. They talked to him, covered his story, put up a GoFundMe, and then it blew up. People gave a lot of money to him, right? They said after the fact they were holding money because this person, of course, couldn't make proper decisions about his money. they had been given it to make his life better. So they'd make sure he got a home and all that. Well, of course he sued. And guess what? He won. Because it's his money. Just because some intermediary put it up there doesn't mean you get to withhold it. So all that's standing between them and a lawsuit that might break them is Lynette Preston's good faith. And do you think that's going to hold up for every day? Do you think removing her comments? Do you think talking about how she can't make her own decisions like a grown-ass adult? Do you think maybe that one day she might drop elbow on you? Because these people, they set fire to other people's lives. Like it's like the rest of us drink water. So how many people did they accuse? Everybody they run across on a long enough timeline seems to get accused of some terrible thing. So do you think you won't be the next? And when it happens, remember, we're supposed to believe them. So I'm going to automatically assume that if LP ever says that some horrible thing was done to them by the ecosystem, it's true. Right? Because it was told forever. I'm not supposed to... remember, when somebody else is falsely accused that tells you to listen and believe, you're not, the way I figure it is, I'm not supposed to look at the conviction of my beliefs, but rather I'm going to honor their belief system. They told me to listen and believe, I will. I should always believe them. Humane human, noted again. There are three sides to their story. Two people involved in truth. Yes, indeed. Yeah. Their truth, and the truth, right? That's why I always hated the words. You know, when people say, I want you to hear my truth. I don't want to hear your truth. I'd like to hear the truth. Now, again, I want to get as close as I can to the truth. Realizing, of course, when I go through something, it won't be 100% because the person, even if you're telling the truth 100%, your perception can skew something here or there. You know, it's mostly the truth. You're not lying about something, but you may perceive, something different about it, or your memory may be a little fuzzy, like it was raining that day. Oh no, it actually wasn't raining that day. Things like that happens. But yeah, I look at the truth, or as close as I can get to it, for sure. What's up, Taz, by the way? I like that freaking that avatar. The older one, by the way, I love Arc Supply. She would like that too. So for sure, she would like that. Just Jay here. Thanks for the 10. Long game for sure. Spend $56K to bait others into fraud, defame oneself, fight against him. What an amazing move. Jeremy is only me. I love this idea. Indeed. I mean, again, that's what they kept saying. I was surprised, by the way. You would think that kind of stuff. You would think that would have some of these idiots maybe speak up too, but no, none of them. They're just okay with it. They know that they're not going to bilk that money. Therefore, that's why I also don't do clicks. Like if there are people that are covering something, they're covering it or whatever. If they agree the same outcome as me, cool. We can be friendly or whatever else, but I'll never be told that if I see something that is wrong, that I can't say something about it, or I'll be ostracized. Ostrich-sized. That's what they've done with this stuff, You better watch out or you'll be ostrich-sized.
Hey.
Hey, kiddo.
It was a pineapple in the sea.
There was what? Oh, SpongeBob? Yeah.
It was a pineapple in the sea.
SpongeBob does? SquarePants? Absorb, porous and yellow and absorb in the sea.
That's Bob's way up here.
You like SpongeBob?
Yeah. I like Minions.
Yeah, I know you like Minions too.
You like Minions so much.
I like them so much.
Everyone. Boom.
Yeah. Hey, don't put that flashlight in my face. Yeah. You told me about it yesterday. You got an emoji flashlight that's red. It when you push the button, it gives it like a little emoji symbol.
Guess what emoji is?
It's like a little heart emoji. It's a love emoji. It's cute.
And look, I have the kiss. It's a kissy heart emoji.
Yeah, it's very cute. I like it.
I like the high eyes emoji. I want this. Oh, it had hearts on it.
Yeah.
Like them. So maybe it has the eyes, the heart.
Yeah. Well, hey, go take it upstairs and play with it and stuff. Okay. Love you. Close that door for me too. Okay. Love you. Love you. All right, Taz. Thank you for the 2 there. Jay would be pretty funny. Yamaha, Shizzy. Yeah, I'll have to see what I want to line up next week. I was thinking I've never had the per se lawyer around, so we'll see. AJ, what's up? Thank you for the 10 gifted memberships too. Thank you, AJ. That is much appreciated, by the way. Appreciate you too, AJ. And we have this is when the kids came down. I want to say thanks to everyone on this part, even if I've hit them or not. So Emma, thank you. Jack's mom, also thank you. DeFloofy, thank you. Janice, also thank you. Sandra, thank you too. Appreciate that. Emma, thank you too. Per se lawyer. Thank you. That was funny. Just like, nope, not for you. Andre, thank you, my friend. The little one was like, yeah, that's got to be for me. It's got candy symbols on it. That was hilarious. Joyce, thanks too. Appreciate that. Tim Tams. They got Tim Tams yesterday. Never had them before. I don't think I've ever had a Tim Tam. I didn't know what it was. Just like, what is this thing? So, they're all sealed up and everything too, So if something comes like boxed and sealed from a place, it's okay. Food, food is something. There's only a few ways I would ever accept food. Okay, just to know, So if people send something, because there's a lot of there for every lovely. You have to remember this, folks. For every good person out there, and there are many of you that are great people. There are awful people too. You see them like creeping into the chats and stuff, man. Some of those people, they would just take joy in doing something awful. So I'm very careful about that stuff too. But at the same time, I like a lot of people understand that too. They send, it depends. Like you can tell what people are crafty and stuff. They send things, or people pick things up and they're new and sealed, or just whatever. What I gotta say, and that's never to take anything away from folks, but there's just crazy people out there too. So I'm always careful with things too. Janice, thank you as well. Thank you, Janice. Sandra, thank you there. I didn't even know like Tim Tams had different flavors. Joan, thanks for that as well too. Thank you, Joan. Wyatt, thank you. Taz, also that was funny. Set him straight. Yeah, indeed. Heather, also thank you. Raya, indeed. She's so funny. Thank you too. Hey, per se, thank you again. Maybe not. Thank you. Crab. That was fun. I'm telling you, I never thought of that all this time, which you did clarify, but still, I just never thought that could even be the case. So funny. Sassy. Thank you. And yeah, she does. She sounds like she has grown so much over the last few years. Death's Angel. Yes. By the way, she would make something. When she was thinking about it, she was trying to think if she had materials. But she hasn't even looked through the new materials that have come in. Yes, she definitely has materials. So, K-Rab, though, clarified that too. Thank you. Brett, Brit. I said Brett. It sounds like Brett when I say Brit. I'm trying to make it sound Brit. Thank you for that as well. And thanks for she's been wanting to show off her artwork. She's been working on it. It's cute. You can tell where she's starting out, and it's it's starting to get more definition. It's 11. It's interesting to see her stuff go from a year ago, and she got interested in wanting to start drawing. Janice, thank you. Yeah, that was good too for the age gap. Also, maybe not. Thank you. Yeah, and it was good information too. Or about tutorials. And Janice, also, thank you for that too. DeFloofy. That's so funny though, DeFloofy. I think she loves DeFloofy. She's like, DeFloofy cat, is DeFloofy cat here? Thank you, Emma, too. This is good information too. Again, you know, the eldest can imagine the little one not being little all the time. So I think that helps out as well. But yeah, thanks for the 5 there as well. Thank you for punching out Cthulhu. I thought that was really funny. Best friends for life. Thanks for the 5 months. I guess the cruise is no more. Asking for a friend. Indeed. Yeah, I haven't heard them talk about the cruise. Although they were trying to say yet again, the cruise was never real. Oh my God. Yeah, the cruise was never real. Remember, folks. It was all just, it was a charade. K-Rab, thank you. Also 5 gifted memberships there. Thank you very much for that, K-Rab. And Ala, thank you for the 5 gifted memberships. That is awesome too. That is much appreciated. Let's see. Also, yeah, AM, I'm just going to say. AM, I don't know if you want me to say any more than that. Thank you. Said $100. Whoa, man. Thank you for that. That's crazy. Through PayPal. That's appreciated too. I was going to, because I've been looking at, so, I want to mention this, by the way. I was looking through Prime Day. You know, I talked about, I wanted to get a battery backup, you know, for my laptop. It's part of doing everything that I do. Just carrying like a backup where I can continue working on something. You know, if power's out, I can continue with something. But a laptop charger, you know, not just a short battery backup, but something that would actually keep it going for a minute. Well, I noticed that Prime Day, you know, there are markdowns. You know, a lot of people just grab something and buy it. They're like, oh, it's marked down, I'll buy it. Well, I noticed their markdowns on things like battery backups. They were the same price as what I would find somewhere else or on the main sites of the place. Only the discount, it wasn't just for that few days of Prime. They may be the same for, you know, it's been the last month or 2 months or whatever. So wait a minute. So I've been sorting out which one I want. And I was like, man, are you kidding me? That's so fraudulent, by the way, when places pretend they give you something like that. So that'll end up going for that, for sure. So I appreciate that. And also through Cash App, we have Tim Tam Fund. Thank you, Christopher. That is awesome, man. The Tim Tam Fund. It's so funny. Tim Tam. It's like I said, I've never heard of a Tim Tam. Maybe that's common somewhere else, but it's not common here. Yeah. Somebody noted the latest Ohio filings. Yeah, like I told you, they're desperate for content, so they'd be out there. No matter what happens, it doesn't matter if it will be filed in 3 days. They'll be like, it's such a win. You know why? Because they don't want to talk about the fact that they have $18,000 left. They don't want to talk about Only Me, their biggest donor, blowing them up, how they thought that they were going to get millions. They were all bragging about how they were going to have this guy spend millions for them all to have lawyers. Then they set that on fire because they couldn't treat this guy decently there. And again, maybe he is the worst person ever in a chat. Maybe, again, people in chat, they have the right to complain about it. But as the person there that was dependent on him, they could not maintain a decent relationship there. They couldn't reach out and talk to the guy and calm them down. And also on top of it, you had LP saying, I've never talked to the guy. Can I get his can I get his digits? Can I get his email address? I've never spoken to him before. I mean, all of that is so wild. Yeah, she posted about that. And then people were saying that she was here that she was asking for his info, and other people, they were like, she is so entitled. Oh my God. And they were freaking ecosystem folks. And she responded being like, what is unappreciative about me wanting to thank a man or get his information? So what tells me there is she didn't have his information. She never made contact with him at all. You know, she did play that she was victimized by him at one time, though, of course, when they thought there was no more money. Now it's different. So funny there. What's up, Emma? Thanks for the 2 there as well. Send an email. Let me check that out. Let me check it out there. Oh, Tim Tam flavors. Huh. Wow, are those things only like $3 around there? Is that what they got like here? For me to buy those things like $10, man. It's so crazy. And if I can find any of them around, I could find a place to order them. But that's crazy. Huh. Yeah, she liked the chocolate though. That's what she was like. Chocolate is so good. All right, folks. I'm going to end here. All right. I'm sure there will be a lot more stupid come up. And these people, every time they pick up the microphone, it's funny because all they do is cause themselves more problems. But just remember what they're talking about. They're deflecting away from some really crazy stuff. Like the fact that, again, they don't talk about the fact that when they pause, they want to come off of any discovery information. You know, the LP, since they're talking about LP in a protective order, which they shouldn't be anyway, but they are. That became their headline today, right? So obviously it was leaked to them, which isn't that fascinating. But yeah, they don't talk about discovery. They don't talk about any of that stuff. But anyway, I may stream tomorrow. If not, I will be on Monday. I'm not sure yet, but I will see you folks.